This module is called Digital Storytelling with Scratch, and it's designed to develop and foster students' computational thinking skills and help them to creatively demonstrate their learning. It incorporates both literacy outcomes and digital technology outcomes, which are listed here. For the literacy component, they're focusing on rewriting a fairy tale to create a fractured fairy tale, which means they're either writing the story from a different perspective or they're creating an alternate ending. And the first few lessons scaffold their ability to demonstrate that they comprehend the traditional fairy tale and then rewrite it themselves. And throughout lessons 2 and 3, they are demonstrating their ability to define problem and designs and explain how digital systems represent data and connect together to form networks and transmit data by creating and following algorithms and using problem-solving skills in Scratch to create animations and digital storytelling. So the way this module is laid out is the student would come to this website, digitalstorytellingwithscratch.wordpress.com, and they'll see the unit outline and their task here. So their task outline is there. 3 lessons are below. Lesson 1, what's the big idea? Each lesson has a set of success criteria attached to it, so students will know exactly what's expected of them. And all they'll do is click each lesson to get started. And each lesson just has a few different components. The first lesson is definitely based on just getting them to communicate their comprehension of the traditional fairy tale and then do some brainstorming to retell their own story. Then they have some time to play in Scratch, choosing their setting and characters for their story. And this module goes on the assumption that students have played or created in Scratch before, but it's not completely necessary because I didn't have much practice with Scratch and I was able to create something in not too much time. So the assumption is they kind of know what they're doing, but they're definitely honing their skills in this module. So in lesson 2, they're brainstorming and coding character development, dialogue, and text. They will just click there. They've got their success criteria. Each component of the lesson also has just a brief outline of how long roughly it should take because it is self-directed, so it's kind of allows them to have a checklist for themselves of are they keeping on track to finish in time. So they're brainstorming character development and dialogue in the first part, just so that by the time they get to Scratch, they have a really clear idea of what it is they want to create, what it is that they want to do. They're writing the script for their story, they're writing the dialogue between the characters. And then this part 3, they're going to explore some of the tutorials and coding cards in Scratch to help them program their sequence. Then they're going to go in Scratch and they're actually just going to play and tinker for a while and just have some time to problem solve and figure out what it is exactly they want to use in their final product. And then they're just completing an exit ticket, which informs the teacher of their individual learning. So if anybody needs some extra help for the next lesson, that's all captured in the exit ticket there. And then it also just allows students to reflect on their own learning as well. Lesson 3, they're actually just going to really be in Scratch coding their story. So I've given them here an example of a project that I created, and this is kind of what they're asked to create. If they have time, they're going to use the voice record function to record themselves telling their story, and then they're going to share their final product to the class studio in Scratch. So that's in there, and then they're going to give peer feedback to each other in the form of 2 stars and a wish, and that will all be captured in this Google Doc.